Successful people are great at communicating, so how can you communicate better with others? First off, be clear. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Words can build up or tear down, and a thoughtless comment can change a relationship for good. So, it's super important to pick your words wisely and think about how they'll affect others before you say or write anything. Before you speak or write, ask yourself these 4 questions. Is it necessary? Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? If you're not getting yeses to those questions, then just don't say it. I've noticed that a lot of people are pretty careless with their words. The language you use can either boost your energy and spark creativity or hold you back. Look at the awful dictators. Their hateful and toxic words lead to terrible actions. Now think about inspiring figures like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., or Mother Teresa. They chose their words wisely and lifted people up. Great leaders speak the language of leadership, and it reflects in their identity and success. Your words shape your performance. If you think of yourself as just average, you won't push for greatness. So it's really important to use top-notch language. That brings me to the next key skill: effective listening. A lot of us aren't great at listening, but good communication means both people need to focus on listening as much as talking. A great tip for important conversations is to let the other person speak first. Hear them out, be curious about how they feel, and try to understand their perspective. Sometimes, even when you're really paying attention, you might not catch exactly what the other person means. That's why it's important to double-check and make sure you got it right before you respond. Don't be afraid to speak up when you need to. It's key to building good relationships, whether in your personal life or at work. Help people express themselves clearly, because good communication means knowing your stuff. Pay attention to your audience. Everyone is different and engages in their own way. Adjust your communication based on the vibe you're getting from others. If they seem confused, interested, angry, or bored, that's feedback on how you're doing. The really successful people I've seen in life definitely have skills, that's a given. But they're also great at expressing themselves. When they negotiate, they're calm and collected, not overly expressive. They're in tune with others, focused on people, and care about what others think. Talking to this person needs a chill, friendly vibe, kind of warm and fuzzy. Now, the third type is what we call the director. They get things done through other people and love chatting about achievements. They'll ask stuff like, "What are you working on? How did you pull that off? How did it go?" A lot of the time, they end up as managers or executives because they have well-rounded personalities. They care about results, but also about people. Everyone you meet fits into one of these 4 groups. Most people mess up by thinking everyone else is just like them. But no matter what type of communicator you are, 3 out of 4 people you meet have their own unique style. There's no right or wrong, better or worse. It's just how people are, and you can spot these differences in kids from a young age. Your job is to ask questions and really listen to figure out what their style is, then adapt your own approach so you can connect better with more people. There are all kinds of people out there, and you never really know when someone's having a rough day. Sometimes, someone's feeling really down, and just saying a kind word like a simple, "Hey, how's it going?" or taking a minute to actually listen to them can make a huge difference. Your little bit of kindness or a few moments of your time could really change someone's day and help them feel valued and cared for. So, be generous with your kindness. It really matters. When you share kindness, it doesn't just disappear. Invest what you can, and it'll come back to you, maybe 5, 10, or even 100 times. Kindness really matters in every part of life. It's key to building strong relationships with others. Most people won't open up about their problems right away. For example, you ask Mary how she's doing, and she says everything's fine, but you can tell from her tone that it's not. A lot of us hold back from sharing what's really wrong unless we trust the person we're talking to. Number 2, we're talking to someone who genuinely cares. So sometimes you need to ask a second question, maybe a third or even a fourth before trust develops. Once they realize you really care, they're more likely to open up about what's really going on in their head. Learn to ask questions that foster trust and communication with the people you work with. Focus on expressing sincerity from the heart, not just trying to impress. If you want to connect with someone, being genuine is key. Trying to impress just creates a gap. Expressing yourself well can really strengthen your connection with others. To do this, you need solid communication skills that help you collaborate and reach both your goals and theirs. Here are some tips for good communication. To get along, work, and live well with others, being a good communicator is key. First off, make sure you have something to say. If you've got something important to say, the next step is to say it well. You need to express it in a way that actually helps someone else. It's all about having a good way to share your thoughts, knowledge, and experiences. So, learn how to communicate effectively. Here are some tips for doing that. First, be sincere. The best conversations happen when both people are genuine, one really wanting to learn or listen. The other person really wants to help you get it right, and part of getting it right is just repeating it. Practicing is key. Seriously, practice, practice, practice. Start with something simple, especially if you're not super confident. It's even more crucial to practice when you're still learning. So, work on your presentation and how you communicate what you know. And those folks who say they're not interested, they're still important because they're giving you a chance to practice your pitch. Especially when you're starting out, it might be worth it to pay someone to listen to you practice while you figure things out. So, appreciate the practice. It helps you build your skills. Skills make your work more valuable. If you're just selling, you can get by, but if you sell well, you can really make a lot of money. If you just talk, you can keep a family together, but if you talk well, you can create a future full of dreams. The key difference is skill. You can chop down a tree with a hammer, but that'll take you forever, about 30 days. Switch to an axe and it's a whole different story. You can take down a tree in about 30 minutes. The difference between getting it done in 30 minutes versus 30 days is the tool you use, and your best tool is your skill. So, practice to get better at expressing yourself. Being sincere is a big part of that. Another thing is brevity. Sometimes less is more. The more you know, the shorter you can be because you learn to use words more effectively. Then there's style. It's all part of communicating well. Look, if you want to have style, be a student of different styles, but make sure you create your own. Learn from others, but don't just copy them. Here's another tip: work on your vocabulary. Having a good vocabulary is key to expressing yourself well. If you don't have a strong vocabulary, it's like not having the right tools to explain a problem or give an answer. Words and vocabulary are essential for communication. You can't really express yourself well without a solid vocabulary. Whenever you encounter a new word, take a moment to look it up. If you're in a conversation and someone uses a word you don't know, check its meaning. Usually, you can guess what a new word means based on the context, but if you're unsure, it's best to wait before responding. Vocabulary helps us understand the world better, so make sure you're paying attention. Vocabulary is like a tool for seeing the world. If you don't have the words, your understanding is limited. It's like trying to look through a tiny hole. You can't see much. Our vocabulary helps us express what we feel and think, and it's essential for asking questions and making sense of things. It shapes how we see things, and I'm telling you, if you can't express what's in your heart and mind well, you'll really struggle. With a limited vocabulary, you'll have two problems. First, you won't be able to see things clearly. Second, you won't be able to express yourself. Your world will keep shrinking and shrinking. Without the right perspective and tools, you might end up thinking you only need a tiny space like 10 by 12 to live in. Why is that? That's about as big as some people's world gets. It's all they've got. They're stuck in this tiny little bubble, making mistakes every day because they just can't see it. They get it wrong all the time because they don't understand and they have no way to communicate properly. First off, you need to have something good to say. Second, you need to say it well. And third, you've got to read your audience. You really have to pay attention to what's happening between you and the people you're talking to. Maybe you should say what you're saying a bit softer. Should you be a bit more assertive? Should you explain things better? Should you be clearer and more to the point? A lot of the decision-making in a conversation really hinges on how well you can read the room and understand what people are thinking. It doesn't matter if you're talking to a kid, a co-worker, or a whole crowd. You need to pick up on the vibes and really pay attention. Here are a few ways to read someone's reactions. First, pay attention to what you see. Look at a child's face and see if they understand you. Do they look confused or like they're getting it? Body language speaks volumes. Check how the people you're talking to are sitting, what their hands are doing, and where their eyes are. If a guy has his arms and legs crossed, chin down, and is frowning, you've got a challenge on your hands. This guy isn't going to be easy to reach. Go talk to the lady over there at her desk, but hurry up. She's not going to wait around for long. You really need to pick up the pace and get to the point. So, the first thing is, pay attention to what you see. The second thing is, listen to what you hear. To be a good communicator, you have to be a good listener. Get some feedback. If you want to be a good parent, you need to listen well. To have a good conversation, listening is key. That's super important. So, take in that feedback. It might help you switch things up. Be a bit tougher, but also a bit gentler. Try a different example, because this one isn't cutting it. Look for another way to express it. Pay attention to what others are saying, not just when it's your turn to talk. Actually, listen. Notice the signals that their words give you. Now, here's another way to connect with your audience. Tune into your own feelings. You've got to learn to pick up on those emotions. Women seem to have this instinctively, but guys can learn it too. It just doesn't feel right, you know? So, what does that even mean? She's saying it's something, but he's like, what's this something? She insists that something's off. I'm telling you, it just doesn't feel right. Guys can figure this stuff out, but women just know it. You've got to learn to read your own feelings and pick up on what others are feeling so you can tweak your way of talking and how you approach things. That way, your message gets through clearly. By the way, how tall can a tree get? As tall as it can, I guess. A tree grows as tall as it can, reaching every root and sprouting every leaf possible. It pushes itself to the limit, just like every other living thing. But humans, we don't do that. We're not machines. We have the dignity of choice. We can decide what part we want to play, and we all have the potential to be more than we are. You can either chill out and ignore everything else, or go all in. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in your ability to change, grow, take charge, and learn whatever skills you want. Trust me, it's all possible. Just remember, none of us are lacking in potential. We've got way more ability than we have time to use. I read somewhere that some people used to live to be 700 years old. I'm feeling a bit cheated, you know? I mean, people back in the day lived to be 700, 800, or even 900 years old, and here I am, lucky if I make it to 70, 80, or 90. It really makes you think, if it took them that long to fully explore their potential, what can we even do in just one lifetime? So here's the deal. Get to work. You've got way more brain power and potential in you than you've tapped into so far. You've got more strength than you realize. So far, there's no limit to how many languages you can learn or how far you can go. You won't know how strong you can get until you start working on yourself and see if you can reach your full potential. Success isn't something you chase after, it's something you develop and become. You attract success. The key to unlocking all kinds of treasures, whether it's financial, spiritual, social, or personal, lies within you. He talked about personal development and then added something really important that's probably worth the price of the seminar. Here it is. What you become is way more valuable than what you get. The big question to ask at work isn't, what am I getting here, but what am I becoming here? It's not just about what you're getting, it's about who you're becoming. That's crucial because who you become attracts certain things. If you become cynical, Becoming cynical is a trap. What you become draws in more of it. That's why personal development has been crucial for me. It completely changed my life. You might be wondering, what can I do about the tough times ahead? Here's the deal. You can get wiser, stronger, and better. Just jot down those 3 words. Wiser, stronger, better. Leave a place smarter than you arrived, with more ideas than you started with. Build your strength, both physically and mentally. Strengthen your courage. You can build your inspiration and dedication like muscles, and everyone here can get stronger. Next time we see you, you might not even recognize how strong you've become. It's about finding your voice and personality, handling whatever life throws at you, and improving yourself. We can all get better. I've gotten better too. The first talk I gave, I was so nervous I almost sat back down. But here's the secret to my success. I got up and did it again. I stood up, did it again, and kept doing it over and over. That was so many years ago. I did it when I was scared, when I didn't want to, when I was sick, and when it didn't go well. I kept at it even when people didn't appreciate it, and I did it a ton of times when I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went for it anyway. And now, all these years later, I'm being asked to walk on this stage with the best introduction I've ever had and the greatest response. Welcome. I've had the best opportunity to make a real impact on people's lives with just my words and my heart. I've been improving bit by bit, day by day, week by week, month by month. I'm asking you to do the same until you build a strong presence and lasting influence. Reach out to people this year that you couldn't connect with before. Host meetings now that you couldn't run before, putting your heart and soul into it. There's a lot going on now that wasn't there before, and I'm asking all of you to improve, no matter how tough things get, through the winter, the financial struggles, the social issues, or personal challenges. Just keep pushing to get stronger and better. We've put some valuable stuff on a high shelf, and you can't reach it until you're ready for it. If you want what's up there, You need to stand on the books you read. Every book helps you stand a little taller, so you can reach for those things. Things on a higher shelf. I've learned some amazing concepts. Over the next 90 days, try doing something different from what you did in the last 90 days. Whether it's picking up a book to read, or working on your health or your relationships with family, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be big. Just start making small changes in your routine. We can't always change our circumstances, but we can change ourselves and what we do. And then he shared another secret with me. Success happens when you realize that what you have right now is a result of the person you've become. There are a few simple principles to grasp, and once you do, everything starts to make sense. Sometimes, though, it can be hard to accept that you're the one to blame instead of blaming the market or putting the responsibility on someone else. Making that shift can be a tough journey, and honestly, it was a bit challenging for me too. The secret is that you should focus on improving yourself more than just putting in time at work. Once I figured that out, it completely changed my life. If you put in the effort at your job, you'll make a decent living. But if you really invest in yourself, you can achieve great things. If you had met me when I was 25, you'd probably say, I am a hard worker. You'd see me as the guy who's okay with showing up early and staying late. I'm all about that. People say I am works really hard. But if that's true, why does he only have a few coins in his pocket and nothing in the bank? Behind all those promises, I was working hard too, but I was focused on my job and not on improving myself. I'm telling you, if you learn this simple idea and start working on it today, or at least by tomorrow, I'll give you tonight to think about it. Start this journey of personal development and make yourself more valuable in the job market. You can seriously boost your income by doing this. Economics isn't the most important thing to focus on when it comes to building your value. If you put more effort into improving yourself than just your job, you'll see a huge change. Work on becoming more valuable in the marketplace, and I promise your life can really turn around. Promotions? Easy. Boosting your worth to the company? No sweat. Money? No issue. Your future? Totally bright. Just concentrate on the right stuff and don't get sidetracked. Don't try to change the outside world. Leave the seed, the soil, the sunshine, the rain, and the seasons alone. Let the amazing things around you do their magic. Instead, focus on yourself. Work on your mindset, your attitude, your personality, your communication skills, and all your talents. If you start making those personal changes, I promise everything else will start to change too. Don't underestimate the future, the possibilities, or the amazing things your distributors bring to the table. And most importantly, don't doubt yourself. If I have the power to change my life, so can you. If I can change, you can change. If I can read, you can too. If I can discover new things, so can you. If I can grow, you can grow. If I can develop, you can develop. If I got an invitation like the one I got 6 years ago, you can too. Help me take something global. If I can stand on this platform as an Idaho farm boy, so can you. If the millionaires team can do it, the president's team can do it. So why not you? Don't sell yourself short. Forget about the thief in the alley trying to steal your purse. What about the thief in your mind trying to steal your dreams? That voice telling you you're not good enough, whether it's saying you're too short or too tall, ignore that. I know you might think, sure, that stuff happens to people in California, but it won't happen here. I'm asking you to tackle that mindset. Even if it's in your own head, I want to remind you that you can overcome it. You can make the choices you need to make. No matter how tough things get, whether it's a rough night, a crazy storm, or any kind of struggle, Everyone here can figure things out. Just take it one step at a time, even 1 minute at a time if you need to. Take it one day at a time. Sure, we all have our moments, but there's nothing you can't walk away from and no challenge you can't beat. I want you to really believe that about yourself. When someone has purpose in their life, they've got something to strive for, something that gives their life meaning. One writer called it a magnificent obsession. For us, it doesn't have to be that intense, but it should be something that moves us, something that draws us in. You know, the future is shaped by a lot of things, and one big one is the past. Some people just can't let go of it. They keep getting dragged back. Others get sidetracked by distractions. But here's the cool part. If you have a strong sense of purpose in your life, it can really pull you forward into the future. The stronger that purpose, the more it drives you. Plus, having a clear purpose can help you get through all sorts of challenges. If you don't have strong goals for the future, it's really easy to get bogged down by a bad day, feel totally crushed by a rough month, or even get lost in a whole year that feels like it's going nowhere. You need something to help you push past all that. If you want to get through tough times and challenges, you've got to have something out there that goes beyond just today, next week, or even next month. This year is really pushing you forward. The clearer your goals are, the stronger the pull. The more dynamic it feels, the bigger impact it has on your life, your spirit, your heart, your soul. It sparks your imagination and gets you thinking about how to reach those goals. If your mind, heart, and spirit are all in it, and you have some good ideas, there's nothing you can't achieve. That's one of the amazing powers that will drive you forward. Think about this. Why do you put in all this effort? Why work so hard? Why push yourself to learn so much? Why go after everything? Why try to experience it all? Why take on so much responsibility? Why strive to be the best version of yourself? Why aim to earn as much as you can and share as much as you can? Why work on developing every skill you can? You might be able to meet everyone, attend every class, and connect with as many people as possible. But why go to those lengths? Why share so much or give so much away? Why strive to see and do it all or become everything? That's a fair question, and only you can answer it for yourself. You've got to figure out your own reasons. A key part of succeeding is having a solid why that drives you. Why is it that the how is easy, but the why needs to be strong? If your goals aren't powerful and your vision isn't clear, you're going to struggle. The old prophet said, "Without a vision, we die. Without a vision, we perish. Without a dream, we're nothing." I'm asking you to sit down with your family and come up with a dream strategy. Make a list of what you want. What kind of health do you want? What skills do you want to develop? What income do you want to earn? What gifts do you want to share? What kind of power do you want to have? What kind of influence do you want to have? I'm asking you to take some time while you're flying back home. Just think about it. By the time you get back, I want you to have a clear vision of why you want this kind of income, recognition, and skills. Make your own list of reasons, and the first thing to think about when you get home is why. And here's another good question. Why not? Check out how much you can earn. Why not see how much you can learn? Why not figure out what skills you can pick up? Why not discover what kind of person you can grow into? Why not explore the kind of impact you can make? Why not think about how many people you can help out of obscurity? Why not see how many lives you can touch? I want you to set some personal goals. Take some time to really think about what you want to achieve. If some people are thriving, why not you? If it's worked out for you, why can't it work for others? And why not you? I want you to take this personally. Why not? You're going to be here until you leave, so what else are you going to do? Why not see how much you can accomplish and how far you can go? Now, here's the third point. Why not you? I wish I could say this to each of you one-on-one, but it would take forever to sit down and chat with everyone individually. Honestly, I'd love to spend a couple of days with each of you, sharing my thoughts and feelings about everything that's going on in my head. Let's see if we can connect and find something valuable together. But we don't really have the time for those deep conversations to really get to know each other. I have to do this from a distance, but I want you to take it personally. My question for you is, why not you? You're smart. You can make choices. You can look into the plan. You can change your life. You can grow a lot in the next few years. You can achieve your dreams, and you can build a solid financial future. When you're with your family, nothing can touch you. You can get healthy, you can get strong. So why not you? And here's my final question for you to think about. Why not now? This is a great time as we wrap up the 20th century and head into the 21st. It's the perfect moment to set your goals, improve yourself, and sharpen your skills. Now's the time to get your act together and kick off your journey of personal growth and change. It's important to have a solid plan for your money, your life, and your future. So why wait? I really hope to catch up with you soon and share how you've reacted to my message today. Whether we meet here or on the other side of the world, at a school or seminar, or maybe I'll end up speaking at your workplace someday, I'm looking forward to it. Until then, I wish you all the best and hope you achieve everything you're aiming for. Everything that you are or will become is totally up to you. You're in charge of your own life and your own destiny. You're entirely responsible for the quality of your life and the outcomes you achieve. Self-development is crucial for success. It takes self-discipline, hard work, and persistence. It helps you build character, skills, and self-esteem. The more you invest in yourself, the more you'll like and respect who you are. Believe in yourself. The more confidence you have, the more fulfilled you'll feel. Guys and gals who achieve amazing things in life aren't always smarter or more talented than anyone else. They're often just people who've put in the effort to tap into their potential more than the average person. The great thing about living in a free society is that you can become pretty much anything you want, as long as you're ready to put in the work. Put in the effort to improve yourself. There's really no limit to what you can achieve, except for the ones you set for yourself. I once came across a quote from Abraham Lincoln that really impacted me. He wrote it in his diary when he was a young guy in Springfield. "I will study and prepare myself, and someday my chance will come." If you study and get yourself ready, your opportunity will come as well. You'll run into people you didn't expect who will help you make use of what you know. You'll get phone calls and letters that could change everything for you. You'll come across articles and ads that encourage you to tap into your skills and abilities. One of the key mental laws is the law of correspondence, which basically means that what's going on inside you is reflected in your outside world. So, your financial situation will mirror how much effort you've put into preparing yourself. Every little bit of hard work adds up, just like a snowball getting bigger as it rolls downhill. Every moment of self-control and discipline counts. Self-improvement really matters. Every amazing achievement comes after countless hours of regular work. Just like a spring turns into a little stream, and that stream grows into a brook. Brooks can inspire dreams, and eventually many streams come together to form a huge river that flows steadily. carrying everything along to the sea. The same goes for self-improvement. Every success that gets celebrated is built on tons of small efforts, failures, disappointments, and setbacks that nobody sees. You can learn anything you need to be successful. There's more information out there now than ever before. The smartest and most successful people have shared their best insights in books, tapes, seminars, and videos. You can get some of the most valuable info on succeeding in any field for just a few bucks and a lot of effort. Want to double your income? How about boosting it? If I told you there's a way to boost your income by 10 times or even 1,000%, would you be interested? Imagine I could share a straightforward formula that's almost guaranteed to help you double, triple, or even quadruple your income. Most people would say yes, but based on my experience, only about 1 in 20 will actually take action. So here's the deal. It's a simple formula, but first, let me ask you this. Do you believe you could increase your effectiveness and productivity by just 2% over the next month? In the next 30 days, do you think that's doable for you? Sure, if you really focus on it, making just 1 or 2 small changes in your daily routine, like managing your time better and being a bit more effective in the areas that matter most, could boost your performance by 2%. After seeing results in the first month, could you keep it up for the second month and add another 2%? And how about the third month? By consistently working on yourself a little bit each day and improving your overall productivity, you could keep increasing your effectiveness by another 2%. In the third month, pretty much anyone can do it if they really put their mind to it. You start to pick things up. That 2% growth each month adds up to 26% a year. Improving your productivity through personal development, skill building, and extra training is a realistic and totally achievable goal. If you compound that 26% a year, you're looking at a 100% improvement in 3 years and a whopping 1,000% in 10 years. This simple 2% formula could be the most important key to success you'll ever come across. Here's the deal. First, figure out what you really want. Do you actually want to be super successful with your finances? Are you willing to put in the effort to get there? If you're all in, here's what to do. Cut back on all the stuff that doesn't help you. Then become a big reader. Reading is like exercise for your brain. It's essential for your success. It takes focus, and you'll pick up a lot of knowledge along the way. You can't learn any other way like you can from reading. There's really no substitute for it. If you read just 1 book a month to better yourself, you'll be in the top 1% for personal development. If you can manage to read 1 book a week, just by putting in an hour a day, you'd end up reading 52 books a year. In 10 years, that's over 520 books. Focusing on self-improvement and boosting your work effectiveness puts you way ahead, especially in a world where most people read so little. Reading 1 book a year could really give you that crucial edge, the kind that separates success from failure. Absolutely. Imagine reading 1 book a week. It could completely transform your life in ways that would blow your mind. And you won't have to wait a decade to see results. You'll notice significant improvements in your life and achievements in just a few months, sometimes even within weeks or days. Start by waking up 2 hours earlier every morning before your first appointment. Before you head to work, make sure to get there a little earlier if you need to. Before you leave the house, take a few minutes to jot down your main goals and a quick description of what you want to achieve for the day. Just a few lines will do. This helps lock those goals in your mind and gets your subconscious working on them, giving you a sense of purpose and focus for the day ahead. And really important, Listen to educational audio while you're traveling, whether you're in your car or on public transport. If you're driving, the average car owner spends about 12,000 to 25,000 miles a year, which adds up to around 500 to 1,000 hours behind the wheel. That's like spending 12 to 25 full-time work weeks just sitting in your car. You could use that time to learn a ton, like getting the equivalent of 1 to 2 semesters at university, just by listening to audiobooks or podcasts while you drive. If you're not doing that, you're missing out on a great chance to get smarter. You're missing out on tons of valuable learning time, and every hour you skip is going to hurt your earnings and limit your potential. The third part of self-development is crucial. The first two are reading and listening to audiobooks or attending courses and seminars led by successful people in their fields. It's really important to go to at least 4 seminars or courses each year, 1 every 3 months. Take advantage of all the training you can find and keep learning no matter what your company offers. Take advantage of all the training opportunities that come your way. If your company doesn't offer them, remember, it's entirely on you to keep learning. The main goal of education, even at the university level, is to teach you how to learn. After that, it's up to you to put those lessons into practice. I think the biggest difference between successful people and those who struggle is how they view spending money on self-improvement. Successful people know they are their greatest asset and are always investing in themselves. They're focused on boosting how well they think and what they know, because they realize that how their mind works really shapes everything that happens in their lives. They're always trying to get mentally fitter and more ready for whatever comes their way. You know what they say, luck is when being prepared meets an opportunity. Winners in just about every area tend to know more or have gained practical knowledge through their studies. It's pretty straightforward. The underachievers are just making excuses for not investing in themselves. You've probably heard them say things like, "I can't afford it," which really just means they won't prioritize it. They always seem to have cash for clothes, partying, drinks, and trips, but somehow can't scrape together money to improve their own minds. Then there's the classic excuse, "I don't have time," which really means they won't bother to make the time for self-improvement. It's frustrating to see. They all say, "I don't need to hear that because I already know it all." Most people who struggle fall into what they call the unconscious incompetent category. That's the person who doesn't know something and doesn't even realize they don't know it. It's a pretty hopeless situation. On the other hand, people with limited education are usually aware of how much they still have to learn, so they're always looking for new info. But college grads often think they've got it all figured out and just stop reading. When they leave campus, the main issue with that loser mentality is that the person doesn't believe in themselves. They think that putting in any effort to improve won't make a difference, so they don't even bother. Think about it. Someone who doesn't read is just as stuck as someone who can't read, and someone who doesn't work on themselves is no better than someone who can't. Ignorance is one of humanity's biggest enemies, and nowadays, in our open society, a lot of that ignorance is self-inflicted. Here are 7 quick thoughts on personal development. Start right now, today. Become a lifelong learner. Read, study, listen to audiobooks, take courses. Just an hour a day studying any topic will make you an expert in 3 years, a national authority in 5, and an international authority in 7. Stay teachable and keep an open, curious mind throughout your life. You'll never know everything about even one subject, or even about yourself. If you want to be successful, keep learning. To succeed, you need to learn from those who have already made it. Don't waste time trying to figure everything out on your own. Find out what works from successful people. Surround yourself with winners, not losers. Get their advice on what to read, which courses to take, and what to listen to. As you learn, be ready to share your insights with others too. Remember, we're all about growth. If you're not constantly taking in new ideas and info, you're just standing still. A lot of people get stuck because of that. They stopped growing, and you don't want that to happen to you. When you stop taking in new info, your mind and brain start to wither, and you can end up feeling sluggish and down. It's the new knowledge that helps pull you out of that. As the Stoicism says in his audio program, 7 Secrets of Wealth and Happiness, you should work just as hard on yourself as you do on your job. The self-respect and confidence that come from learning and working towards your potential are worth it. It's the main source of self-esteem and self-worth.